absolutely nothing.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two f***s, but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to.
She's the woman dubbed Crazy Plane Lady after that epic plane meltdown seen around the world. Now, in this Inside Edition exclusive, Tiffany Gomez is opening up about her freak out on the plane.
It was the worst moment of my entire life.
In the infamous viral video that has more than 450 million views, Gomez storms to the front of the plane just moments before takeoff.
I stayed at home for over 4 weeks because I was so ashamed and so embarrassed, like I didn't want to go in public.
Now, for the first time, Gomez is explaining what happened on board the American Airlines flight from Dallas to Orlando. She says she was heading out to a family vacation when she just lost it.
What do you want to say to the people out there who are like, okay, this girl was drunk, this girl was on something?
I had an altercation and I felt very strongly that I needed to get off the plane.
According to the police report, Gomez was arguing with a fellow passenger, accusing them of stealing her AirPods. The 39-year-old demanded the plane return to the gate, and it did. With her $1,900 designer handbag slung over her shoulder, she let loose.
What did you really mean by that?
It was a figure of speech, like he's not being real.
Like when you say this person's fake or this person's not real, he's not quote unquote keeping it real. You weren't saying that this person is not a real person.
Yes.
Why did you think the people were in danger?
Just due to the altercation. I don't want to go into too much detail for legal reasons.
So I saw on your Facebook photo has like a picture of you in, maybe it was an Instagram of you in the ring, right? So you do some MMA.
Yes.
How long you been doing MMA for?
Dude, actually I got started when I was 5 just because I couldn't make it in Cub Scouts.
Oh,
I know
yeah?
that sounds like lame, but it's not like I couldn't
In Cub
make
Scouts?
it. Yeah.
What does that mean? Like you weren't...
Time out, player.
All right.
Yeah. I wanted to get in like a troop with my buddies.
Okay.
And it was all like taken up. All the slots were taken up. And my dad was like, crap, I can't get him in. Let's get him in something else. He's like, hey, what would this little aggressive 5-year-old kid that likes to, punch people like to do? He's like, I'll take him to karate. So then I started in that, and that's how I got started. Because I couldn't make it in Cub Scouts.
Wow. So that's an interesting story. Because is there like what is the requirements? I got to imagine it can't be that hard.
I'm telling you, Scouts honor, bro. Scouts honor.
That's awesome. So how many fights have you had then?
Just amateur fights, and I fought, started point sparring, and then I did some boxing. I did some kickboxing. I did a couple little unsanctioned events over in Thailand. We actually just won, and then I had MMA, which. There, I had 4 fights of MMA here in the States.
That's
so, with everything total, I don't know the number, but probably 13 or 14.
Wow.
Around there.
Yikes. Well, that's pretty... It sounds like it's something that you really like to do. I mean, going to Thailand for that. How did you get set up for that fight?
Actually, we were... me and my buddy, we went on to PB Island, and there was this...
That's a real island?
Yeah. It's legit. And we were drinking, we were eating our curry, getting all fat boy.
Yeah.
And then we saw this little place that had these Thai fights. We're like, hey, man, let's go check it out. And in there, it's like, hey, if you fight, because they needed extra fighters, if you fight, we'll pay for your drinks.
What?
And my buddy, he's a really good wrestler. He's like, dude, we can do this. And so we just sat in front.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you guys wanted to fight, right? And they saw him, he had big cauliflowers. We're like, yeah, we're game.
Yeah.
And our girl's like, man, you guys are idiots. We're like, hey, but we can do it as long as you're going to pay for our drinks, right? And they're like, yeah. So I did. We're your guys right here. We do this. So we went to the back. got all taped up and everything, and and they had like a one size fit all glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they put it on. It's all big. It's all bloody, and you're like, oh man, I'm in Thailand right now. What am I gonna do? And it's like, all right, buddy, it's okay. We're gonna get you free drinks. All right, so we rolled with it, and I ended up going out there. It's actually the first round is when the curry hit. And
because it was like hot.
Yeah, so my girl, no, it wasn't hot. It was just,
in your stomach?
You get the bubbles,
Gotcha.
I wasn't ready to do all that. Have a bunch of beer.
Yeah.
And I remember this dude just like, first of all, he was this Russian. He wasn't even from Thailand. He was from Russia.
Yeah.
And he was like a good 30 pounds bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, what the hell, dude? Like, this guy is not my size.
It's like Rocky 5.
Yeah, I had no cornerman, no coaches or anything. And one of the guys, the promoter, is like, he's in the ring. He's like, dude, it's okay, brother. It's okay. He's all rubbing me down. He's like, you're so big. You big and strong. I was like, and I'm drunk, dude. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm big and strong.
That's hilarious.
So I was like, all right, let's do this. And like halfway through the middle of the round, I just remember this uppercut, pow, right in the guts. And I was like, like if I could feel the gurgling, dude, bippity boppity boop, it's about to come out the poop.
That's crazy.
After that round, looked at Heather. She's like, "What's up, dude? You okay?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm about to poop my pants right now. I'm being an internet meme." And she's like, "You're good. Get it together." And then we ended up finishing it, and Nate and I ended up finishing our fight.
Yeah,
and we did really well. So
how many rounds was it?
It was good. 3 long ass rounds.
Was it like standard time?
I want to say there were 2 minutes, but they let it go longer than 2 minutes, depending if it was getting exciting.
If it was going to end.
Yeah, so you hear like the clack, 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 and 10 seconds go by, and you're like, "Hey, wait a minute, let's go fight here." And the guy's like, "No, it's very good. Keep going." I don't even know why. That's not even their accent.
I don't know what a Thailand accent is either.
Good.
That's great. How much are drinks in Thailand?
They were free that night.
Well, I mean, they were free that night, but aren't they? Because when I go to like Mexico, right, drinks are cheaper than they normally would be.
Yeah, I want to say it was like around like 80 cents or a buck.
80 cents? You fought for 80-cent drinks?
No, hold on. I drink a lot more than a single beer.
All right.
And so maybe like $4 probably.
$4.
Probably, yeah. But they give you this like big old cauldron. And they just fill it up with what I don't know. It's probably like cheapest stuff.
Wow.
You get messed up. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I went from the end of that. I was all excited for my fight. I was like all bleeding out my nose. Like all my friends are waiting for me to come out, and I ran out the back and went to a tattoo parlor. And just ended up getting a tattoo on my leg. Yeah, right after the fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were waiting for me. They're like, "Where you at, bro?"
Was it like your win-loss record?
I got done. No, it's actually Mickey Mouse's hand. Like on my thigh, I got a bamboo style.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow. That's funny, man. I'm glad I asked you this story before we got into it.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
This is way interesting. You went to Thailand. You decided to get... How many drinks deep were you before you even started your fight?
It was just a continuous drink from the night before.
Really?
So, I don't know. We got some sleep, and we went out there. I'm going to say probably beers deep.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably like a 12er.
Damn.
Nothing gnarly, but like...
Yeah, but that's still 12 before a fight, though, you know?
Yeah, I didn't realize, like, how big of a guy I'd be fighting. I was like, oh, dude, I was pretty buzzed up.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, I'm like, I'm going to smoke this dude with a spin kick and just wow the crowd. Yeah, I shot a spin kick, and I literally missed him by like 2 feet.
Really?
Yeah, like I would have hit like the person outside.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, oh crap, I shouldn't do that again.
That's crazy. So you literally went to Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were just chilling, and you decided we're gonna fight.
Well, once I said it, you got free booze. We're like, yeah, we got this.
We got this. But you didn't even see the opponents.
Nah. They're like, hey, volunteer. Does anybody want to fight?
Wow.
We're like, yeah.
So other people in the audience were volunteering as well? Is that how that worked? That's why you got the Russian guy?
Yeah, they had people there too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you ever do it again?
Yeah.
I could tell, like, the way that you looked, you're like, yeah, I think the next time we go, I would probably do that.
Yeah. They give these cool medals too if they win. They're like, oh yeah, you get gold medal, bro.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I was like, man, you can get these from Chuck E. Cheese.
That shit floats, doesn't it?
It's like Chuck E. Cheese medal, yeah. But I still got my room.
Do you have a video of that?
Yeah.
Oh, can we get a link to that for the viewers here?
Yes, I'll have to. Yeah.
Can we get that uploaded?
Heather's got one. So
okay.
I'll have to hit you up.
We want to have that uploaded because that is That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal.
You got it. I'll put it for you.
All right, cool. Dang. So you had 13 fights?
I do roughly. I don't know the number of them. Probably somewhere around there.
You still fight?
Ooh, actually more than that.
Oh, you got more than that?
Because of just point. But
you're not counting street fights?
We're not counting street fights, man. No, I was like point. Because you can have point sparring fights where it's like stop, go. Whoever hits somebody first. And that's when you do when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. And in those, you can have like 5 or 6 fights in a day.
Okay. Wow.
So, because you don't get messed up in it. It's point karate.
Is that's with the headgear and everything? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and they got like the dots on you.
Yeah.
So like different targets. If you hit, you score different. And 2 body, 3 head. If you have punches, 1 point.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you count those, but I wasn't counting those ones.
Gotcha. Are you still fighting, or you're just working out stuff?
Dude, I'm fighting against like obesity. I'm like losing that fight.
As you get older, you just realize that it's not as easy.
I'm clubbing right now with my cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
Some fig jelly.
I see.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. So you started doing this because you couldn't cut the weight in the Cub Scouts.
Yeah, cut the weight.
You couldn't cut it in Cub Scouts. Mm-hmm. Wow. Have you done any kind of survivalist stuff? Like, do you know how to do anything like that?
Like in the woods?
Since then? Yeah, like since then, like starting a fire. Simple stuff.
Barely. Yeah, I know how to make a fire.
Yeah.
But
that's about it?
Yeah, that's it, dude.
Yeah, they have this show that I like to watch. Me and my girl watch it. It's called Alone. Have you ever seen it? Mm. It's crazy because they put people out. They take 10 people. They put them out. They started out in Vancouver on these islands in Vancouver, and they space them out by miles. Mm-hmm. So they can't come in contact with each other. So they're all just surviving until the last person taps out. But they don't know who's tapped out. So you're just out there just kicking it, building stuff and trying to eat and survive. And then you're like, well, you don't. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here.
So essentially, you could be there like forever.
You could be there. I think the max. I mean, I think they probably would put a max on it, but they've gotten to like 3 months. 3 months was like originally what it was.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, maybe we can extend it and just see how far somebody will go. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy, dude. Like I saw one where this black guy was on it. It was so funny. It was like season 3. This black guy gets on the shore, and he just like kind of sits there. He looks around after they drop him off the boat, and he's like, he hears like this rustling in the.
Wait, where did they drop him off at though?
So what they do is they take you by boat to the remote location, right? So these are islands in Vancouver, Canada. Oh. So they just put you on the island, and then you decide where you want to set up camp. You don't have to stay on the spot that they put you in. You just can't go too far to the right or to the left. Okay. So they dropped this black guy off.
Tag. Like hide and seek, sort of. Like, don't cross this boundary.
Well, yeah, it's because they don't want you to run into the other contestants, right? Mm-hmm. So they dropped this black guy off. I think it was season 3. It was so funny because, like, most people, they'll kind of, like, look around. They're like, all right, I'm going to put my stuff over here. I'm going to go here. Oh, this isn't a good location. I'm going to walk around and go there. He sits there. He looks around. He hears something. He's like... and then he just like he calls it in. He's like, yeah, I think I'm done. It was like 3 hours, and he never moved from the spot off the shore.
He was over.
He was out.
Oh man,
I was like, that is crazy.
Well, I mean, you can't. So it was just that one brother. Was there like any more brothers there?
No, I haven't. I've only seen one brother on the third season. That's because you can fill out the application and
they knew what they're doing too. They
put
him in the right
absolutely, and that's why it's just so funny to me because like he had no business being out there.
They need to drop they need to do that like with a white dude, like have all brothers and then drop one white guy off and like calm. Yeah, like Detroit. Like,
that's your survival
in the ghetto. Like, good luck, dude. Like,
they'll tell
2 minutes later, he's like paging somebody. Yeah,
I'm out. I'm done. Yeah.
The SOS button on the pager. 911.
Yeah, that would be. I would watch that, and I think they definitely should do that because I mean it's kind of like a crazy ass jungle out in Detroit, anyways.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Exactly. Hilarious. Yeah, little asphalt jungle.
Have you ever seen what is that one movie? It's like Judgment Day or something like that, where they were like in L.A. and it was like way back in the day, but the movie came out. But it was like LA, and it might as well have been just like the apocalypse because it was just like, you know, they were walking around. They got lost or something like that, and like they were walking around the streets of LA. And
Lost in LA?
Yeah, it was just
bad
bad,
idea, man.
dude.
I did that
bad.
for like a couple blocks. I thought I was gonna die.
You're just
After
dead?
USC, yeah. We got done with like a USC game, and we were cruising. We're like, we need to find a taco spot.
Oh,
We
really?
had a couple of buddies, yeah. And then we get down a couple of blocks, and we get a taco, and this lady's like, oh, no, we're trying to get an Uber. We're like, hey, can you pick us up? She's like, where you at? We're like, such and such. She goes, we won't pick you up from there. They're like, honey, what are you doing over there? I'm like, I don't know, getting tacos?
Yeah,
and she's
yeah.
like, you're in El Salvadorian area. She's
man.
like, you need a cruise,
No, bro.
quick. I'm like, a 10-4.
10-4, we're out of here.
Yeah, we were gone.
Gosh, yeah, I
My buddy
can't.
had a chain. He put it in his shirt.
Yeah.
Like on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you did really? He's like, oh,
Like,
let
you
me
better
tuck
put
my
that
stuff
away,
in.
dude. Let it jam it.
Yeah, you can't be messing around like that, man. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, you just don't know. I took a trip from Florida to California, just all on the road because we were moving a buddy of ours in a U-Haul, and just like all those southern states. Like, there'd be times where I'm like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I just like kind of peek out of the car and like look at everybody. I'm like, nah, I think I'll wait till we get to Louisiana.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just sketch, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so different in the South. Have you traveled to the South at all?
Half of my family is from Louisiana.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, my stepdad, and he was with my mom since I was 5.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with him, and he's very southern. And they're all from Baton Rouge and
Baton Rouge.
New Orleans. Yeah.
I like Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
Baton Rouge is a cool spot.
Man, I got my Baton Rouge whipped a couple times.
Do you?
Yeah, down south, baby. I'm not with it. It's a different kind of beating.
It's really cool. Like, I like I don't know if I like the idea of like possibly being gators, but that lifestyle of like living in that kind of like bayou,
Oh, yeah.
it seems pretty cool. You know, just like, because the houses were big. I could only saw it off the freeway. And then you've got these like little rivers and stuff like that. You're just probably just catching food all the time.
Simple living, yeah. They catch a lot of crawfish and, I mean, a lot of soups and gumbos.
Yeah, food's really good.
Yeah, my favorite dish, just because he brought it over, was etouffee. I don't know if you know what that is. Yeah, it's like this rice dish and this Cajun thick sauce on top of it, either with like some crawfish or shrimp. But, oh, buddy. Sorry. Yeah. You gotta eat some of that.
You do that right before a fight in Thailand?
Oh, man. I'd be so toasted. Dude, way down like some potatoes.
Nice.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah, but those the Southern hospitality, hey, they love to eat.
Yeah, they do. And the food's really good. So, All right, well, let's take a quick break and then we'll move into the next part. I wanted to talk about this thing on Tiffany Gomas. I didn't want to talk about this before because it just seems like I've seen so many internet like you're on an airplane and it's drama. Like it's funny the first time you watch it, and it's like, oh yeah, the person just freaked out and had whatever, embarrassed themselves. But this one was a little bit interesting to me because this is the girl that said that motherfucker back there is not real. Right. So my mind, I was thinking she seems a little bit inebriated. She's having a bad day, whatever. But I watched the video, and it kind of made me rethink this whole thing, which is really strange. So, did you see the podcast that she was on by chance?
I saw a highlight of the podcast that she was on.
Okay.
The one that was like the recent.
Yeah. So she was really vague, and she said she couldn't talk about it, but then she was still low-key talking about it. But then was like, she never mentions that she was on drugs or alcohol, which I thought that was really strange. And then she was like just low key, almost like there was a court case. Yeah. But then if you have a court case, why are you on a podcast talking about it?
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense to me. And then the guy, he's not doing any podcasts or anything. No one's questioned him. So the whole thing just seems very mysterious. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Her eye antics, like when she's being questioned, is not like I'm defending myself and I'm trying to get a clear out of it. Yeah. Like I'm doing stuff for legal reasons. Yeah. Her eye is thinking about what can I say to kind of go around the whole situation while looking good at the same time to me. So I don't know. She's hard to judge, especially on the video that she had, as being like, she was concerned, but she is very fidgety concerned. Yeah. So fidgety concern gets to me like, hey, either like you got something not working up here, or you took something like you're having a really bad trip right now.
Yeah.
You're lost in the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that fidgety, like, you need to get off right now, jump to the next subject, but still be on it.
I saw her after, they showed another video of her after she got off the plane, and she was a body cam of cops talking to her.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, my dad's a cop, get away from me, I don't want to talk to you, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And again, she just seemed really like somewhat inebriated, but still logical in a sense. And I'm trying to think, like, what are the possibilities that could have happened on that plane? Like, this is where it gets kind of weird. Like, do you believe in, like, first of all, like, reptilians?
Yeah.
Like, you've heard about reptilians, right?
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that it could be like a scenario like that because, like, supposedly people that work for the government are reptilians, What do you think about that? It's kind of a weird thing.
As opposed, like, just that subject or that on the plane?
Just I guess just the subject. I guess maybe both.
Okay. Yeah, as, like, if, like, there can be something other than humans. Yeah, I think Tom DeLonge kind of broke that open. And now everything, like, within the last year is kind of saying, like, okay, yeah, Tom was right, and there are aliens.
Sure.
So that's already been breached.
Yeah.
So, now a possibility breaks open. That can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the plane in that situation with what I just said, she kind of said that on the plane. So now everybody was looking back that way. And why is she the only one on the plane saying that was, like, not a real person? Everybody else like, okay, you're tripping.
Right. It makes me wonder because, like, I try to stay away from topics like that because it's kind of a weird, I can't prove reptilians. Aliens is always a weird subject because it's like, there's a lot of stuff out there that we can't explain, and the idea that something happened back there, because, like, when you watch the video, the guy's in a green sweater, he's got a hoodie on. Yeah. It just seems like he's not really bothering anybody. You just see him for a second, but he doesn't say anything. He's just kind of looking really kind of. I mean, anytime you put a hoodie on, you're already suspicious, right? Yeah. So he's just, like, looking all shady.
Hold on. I don't know how you feel. I'm all right.
Oh, you're cool with it?
Yeah, man. I'm with it all day, especially when it's raining.
So, okay, there you go. So it just seems rather suspicious. Like, I don't know what could be a possibility there for that to be such a weird scenario, because the way she was talking about it was almost like maybe it wasn't a court case, maybe it was like a hush hush by the government to be like, hey,
good man,
because she was almost seeming like she was deflecting in the podcast as well. She trying to say that, hey, this guy didn't do anything wrong. It was just me being weird, blah, blah, blah. But then was just still weird. Like, I'm going to play that clip at the beginning of this, when we start, so everybody can see it. But it's just, I don't know, man. Because, like, when you start to talk about, like, disclosure, right? So if you worked at Area 51, let's say it was real, it was a base where aliens were, right? Yeah. So for people to get you to not say anything, it's going to be like a direct threat. Right? They'll be like, hey, if you tell anybody about this, you're going to physical harm, or maybe we'll cut off your bank account, or maybe we'll get to your family somehow, So that is kind of the vibe that I got with that.
That's, I would get that, like, especially with the Area 51. But since that was already exposed, she was already on the plane, and that's already been brought out into the world. Don't you think, like, everybody else would be like that too? Like, okay, you can't talk about it? How come everybody else on that plane is not talking about it?
They are. They're talking about, like, supposedly Carrot Top was on that plane.
What?
He looks so weird.
What?
Like, I didn't think Carrot Top could look yes.
Okay, Carrot Top's an alien, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know. Dude, when you see, like, you got to see, like, the stages of Carrot Top, bro. Oh, because when Carrot Top first came out, I was like, all right, he's already weird. And then he had that weird, like, he did something to his lips, and then, like, his pecs looked all weird.
Dude, yes.
And then now you see him now, completely different from that.
Jack Carrot Top.
He looks so weird. But anyways, he was trying to say that she was just mad because she lost her headphones or something like that, and she was making a big stink. And that's where people are coming out and saying, it's like, all this argument was about a stink from the headphones. But then some other people were like, no, like, this doesn't look right. Like, she, the headphones, but, like, her demeanor changed when the guy was sitting behind her, and it's just a weird thing, bro. It's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. But she just acts so weird for this whole thing. I thought it was just an open and shut like case. It's done.
Yeah.
But
well, when you said like, if you're like, hey, this guy's weird on it, okay, I get that. Like now you got something you want to talk about.
Yeah.
But now when you're off of it and how she was talking, like, hey, that plane's not going to make it. Like, okay, now your brain's going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, why are you saying a plane's not going to make it just because some dude looks weird?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
that is kind of weird.
You're literally going into the worst case scenario at that moment.
You're right. She shouldn't have done that.
I'm like, why are you going to the worst case scenario?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And I know a lot of people in flights, especially long flights, will take like a sleeper, tramadol. And one of the things they say is it causes you to say weird things.
Oh, really?
And you go in like full blackout mode. So doctors will tell you to be careful about it.
Really?
Especially, yeah. And so you kind of just go into like a little dream state and you kind of cruise through it, but you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like maybe she took a sleeper because she didn't look like a a poor chick. She kind of looked like she knew what she was doing type of chick, and she wasn't bad looking. So
right. And I think,
I don't know.
but I think that that's something that she should have mentioned if that was the case as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you want to save face, like, how much do you want to expose?
Right. And if she did take that, the effects of like alcohol and drugs are different when you're in the air.
Yeah. Oh, well,
But
she wasn't in the air.
Oh, they weren't in the air yet. They're still
shoveling.
shoveling. Oh, yeah. So
she's
then
tripping on the ground, dude.
Yeah, she's tripping on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I guess not. So, and the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was like, have you ever heard of like simulation theory? Like where, have you ever seen like what they call glitches in the Matrix? Like you'll follow
movies, yeah.
So if there's a lot of videos out there where like you're following, like people have like a dash cam, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're watching this car that's in front. Yeah. Then out of nowhere, another car comes out, and you're like, where was that car this whole time? Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm following. So that's where another thing that like I'm trying to track all the possibilities of what if this could have been something unexplained or a mystery. This is probably another thing because I've always thought that those things were weird. Like sometimes
I get it all the time, man. So I'll be drunk coming in home looking for the milk, and I'll ask her, "Where the milk at?" She's like, "In front of your face, fool." I'm like, "Oh, there it is." Yeah, glitch in the Matrix.
I'm talking more like like weird things where like let's say like you walk into a Starbucks and there's like 4 people that are all wearing the same thing. All cars that are all
just
the same.
Like a coincidence?
Yeah, it could be a coincidence, but like just something that just made her think that whatever's happening is like, I'm flipping out because how does no one else see this, but I see it?
Yeah. I mean, that stuff happens more. I feel like that happens more when you get older.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen a lot when you're a kid because I don't remember like coincidences happening when I was younger, but when I get older now, I'm like, damn, like how did that happen?
Yeah.
Like either I saw this or wow, that shouldn't be happening right now.
So that raises another question for me. What is your thought process on like kids that say they have an imaginary friend? Do you think that they're actually seeing something? Because I have a theory that once you get to a certain age, you don't have that extra ability to be able to see those things. Like dogs can see it, cats, animals can see it. Because like you can see like cats will like start barking at the ceiling. I've seen it. Like dogs do weird. They're like, what is going on over there? And I'm like, I have my dog right now. I've seen him just like kind of get up and like start staring behind me, and I'll be like, what are you looking at?
Right. Yeah.
So I just think that like maybe it's a possibility that kids can see things at a certain age until because we keep telling them that these things don't exist.
I don't know. That'd be actually a cool study to see, especially with the rising population of the mentally ill now. It'd be cool to see how much of like mentally ill, like schizophrenics, had an imaginary friend.
Sure.
Like, were they predisposed to it?
Yeah.
I know I didn't have an imaginary friend, and so I don't really get it. I can't really put a fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
And I was never big on like playing with myself. Like, don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah.
But like,
pause.
Hey, take it easy now. But yeah, I don't know. I can't speak upon that. And I know in the animals' sake, like different animals can't see colors like us.
Right.
A lot of animals can see frequencies.
Yes.
A lot of animals can see gases, and that's why they stay away from certain lakes. But we can't see it. Gases are there, but they're invisible.
Yeah.
well, not invisible. We just can't see it. We can't pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's like with your cats and dogs. They see different stuff that are coming through, but we just can't see it.
Gotcha. I didn't know they could see gases.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was listening to it on a JRE podcast.
Yeah.
How there's, let's say like what are those gases over in Alaska? You remember like the northern lights? Yeah, northern lights and
Aurora Borealis.
So we can see that.
Yeah.
But there's gases all around us, and certain animals can pick up. They're like, hey, that's danger zone. We got to stay away from that.
Gotcha.
But we can't see that. It's the same thing with a smell. Like, I don't think a cat can smell if you... Like, I never had a cat run out if I farted in their face.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Like, but if you, like, fart in a girl's face, you know, you're going to get
biscuit
real quick, you know? Yeah. Just different things.
Your farts must smell good,
Dude,
because when you fart in a cat, like, I think cats smell better than dogs.
Man, I got beautiful pheromones. I'll be eating this figs right here.
Maybe that's the diet that you have to have, so that you have good smelling farts.
Salami, cooked crackers.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but that's all I want to say about it, man. I thought that it was worth mentioning because I like to talk about. I really like to talk about, like, you know, the extraterrestrial stuff. Bigfoot, you know, what's your thoughts on Bigfoot? Is that a thing or no? I've heard.
I would doubt it.
Doubt it?
Yeah, just because how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the realistic probability of something that to live that long.
Yeah.
I don't know. And if they were to procreate, like, I don't know, you'd probably see it.
You know, I used to be that way too, where I would think that Bigfoot is like, it's one of the most ridiculous things ever to think about. And a friend of mine convinced me that it was a thing. And I was like, he started saying some things I was really like, wow, I didn't think that that was possible. Like, I guess there's a lot of old, like, newspaper articles. Like, you know, I'm talking about like the 1800 stuffs, right? Yeah. And then books that talk very specific. They don't say Bigfoot because that's the word we use now. Mm-hmm. But it's really big in like remote places. Like, I guess the Sierra Nevada is the closest to us, the forest. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, if you go out there, they still talk about it right now. I guess there's a big like association where they always report the sightings and stuff like that. So you can like follow up and like, you know, this is where they are.
So you'll see sightings like here, there, like all over, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's the probability of you traveling over the Andes in a month standard and then coming back over and just cruising?
Well, I guess the difference is like if you were to...
He's got big feet.
Because, you know, we have the national forest, right? Yeah. Let's just say the Sierra Nevada National Forest. Mm-hmm. We have roads and walking trails. Yeah. But outside of those roads and walking trails, it's still a vast forest, right? So it can be remote because people just don't go to certain places of it. Yeah. And if they have like a cave system, and this is probably also where Hollow Earth comes into play, is that they can go into the ground and, you know, have these vast cave systems down there and then come back up and forage for food or whatever.
Right.
So...
yeah, definitely, like, there could be, but I mean...
It's unlikely.
If there is a Bigfoot, yeah, dude, hide and seek champion.
Hide and seek champion.
Bro, I give it to you.
But here's the thing, though.
You the man.
But here's the thing. So you say that, but what about the idea that if you did see it, who are you going to tell?
Yeah, sure, too.
You know, and I've always thought that about aliens, too. Like
everybody's traveling with a camera now. Who doesn't travel without their cell phone?
Yeah, you can.
Shia.
But it's like, again, I guess if you record it, you post it on YouTube and it gets taken down. Censorship.
Yeah.
You know, like, where would you post it? Would you put it on your Facebook? Facebook would take it down. You know, it's just one of those things to me where it's like, we live in an age of censorship right now that I think if you try to do something like that, there's always someone that's going to stop you. And then you're just having a word of conversation with someone with cameras off, and that's not popular. You know, you're not going to get your word out that way.
Who wouldn't want to be the first Bigfoot sighting?
Yeah, but if you said, make it realistic. Let's just put a scenario out there where you said, I saw a Bigfoot. Yeah. How are you going to put that out there? What would you do?
Hey, boy, Elon Musk.
You're going to hit him on a tweet?
I tell you, yeah. I'm like, hey, I found Bigfoot. Come hear me out. Like, I'll show you where he lives right now.
Okay.
Hey, bring your Hyperloop and we'll
Yeah.
drill into his canyon.
That's it,
We'll
huh?
bring Bigfoot back home, and you're gonna sell a whole bunch of Model S.
Put him on the cover. He's gonna be the mascot.
Yeah. Make a Bigfoot Cybertruck.
Yeah.
And just call it good, dude. Yeah, if you buy a Cybertruck, you get a picture of it. You just endorsing it.
Right.
But another reason, if they're super intellectual all these years, and they never had anybody hurt them, why would they be hiding? Because usually, not an apex predator.
Yeah.
Apex predators go out there.
Sure.
Even mountain lions come to the city to go to your door and look for food
when they're hungry.
Yeah, apex.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Elephants, they don't care. They roam. So if he's an apex predator, why are you hiding? That's another big thing for me.
Yeah.
Because they don't know. They don't have TV.
Right.
Well, I'm talking about them like they are alive. You did it, so you know how to see what you
I got you. I put you in this world.
Man. All my friends are going to see this.
My friends,
You're one of those
I'm going to look
bros,
ridiculous now.
Yeah.
No, it's always interesting conversation, man, because it's a lot of people always chalk a lot of things up to conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they just don't talk about it anymore. But, you believe, I would say you take a stance on aliens, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
A hard yes for aliens?
Oh yeah, but, that's already been out there.
Yeah.
The government and everybody said, yeah, it's already here.
And that's a major stance, though, right? So you're basically saying that, yeah, aliens do visit us from other planets.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, and it should be something that we should be talking about more. Like, what does this mean? Why are we having this thing where we believe that aliens do exist when they keep telling us they don't?
Yeah.
I think we should be talking more about it.
I mean, we could. I mean, I'm only a half bottle.
I'm only a half bottle. Hey, actually, can you hit me up
if
too?
You want to get there? Yeah, this is how you know you made it to middle class. Right? I mean, you got an aerator.
You got an aerator?
Yeah, in church.
Yeah, no. Thank you.
Good, huh? That sounds good.
It sounds real good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about aliens that I've always researched to try to figure out what does this mean? Have you ever heard of the Phobos incident by chance? I talked about that on one of my episodes here. Phobos.
No.
Yeah, so it's a government project where they sent a satellite into space and it was supposed to go around Mars and then go over a moon called Phobos. It was a moon of Mars, right? Yeah. And I know, it's weird. So
it's like a pronoun.
If you actually pull up the newspaper articles, it shows you all these crazy things from back in the day. But since now it's been hushed up. But you can still find the articles on the internet.
How long ago was this?
This would have been in the 60s, I think.
Oh shoot, that long ago?
Yeah. So
damn, my dad wasn't even alive.
No. So in the 60s, so they threw this thing around Mars, and then they said, and this is the stuff that they said. They said that they can show the videos something following Phobos, right? Mm-hmm. So they said that there was a craft following it, and somehow they were saying that the light from, because I guess the sun would be beaming down and casting a shadow from Phobos down to Mars. I don't really understand that concept because we live on Earth.
Yeah.
But I guess the atmosphere is different. So
you can't really pick it up because if it's dark and the sun's not shining, getting nothing. But if you throw a light out there,
I don't know, man. I don't know. But the way that they were
talking about this, you're supposed to know about.
I know, but I know more. The more intricate part about it is what I care about is the fact that they were saying that something was following it. Okay. And I was like, well, that's weird. They have a shadow of something following this thing that they said wasn't a cloud. And then
that's crazy because if you don't have light out there, how do you see a shadow when you're in the shadow?
I don't know. I mean, it's. I guess it depends on where the direct sunlight is from, the sun. But anyways,
but if
further
you're picked up by the sun, you wouldn't see a shadow then.
You're saying so from this light, if this light was the sun.
So the sun's on the back and you're in space, right?
Yeah.
And now you have to shine a light to see. I guess if the sun was that way, yeah. But if it was shining on you, you'd be able to see something that wasn't a shadow. You'd actually see a figure.
Well, it was a ship.
There's only shadows when it's behind something. Say, there's.
I see what you're saying. Right,
tree,
right, and that's what it is.
Then you see the shadow. So how would you see the shadow behind you?
Because
that makes sense to me.
You have to go back and watch my episode.
I'm down.
Because I explain it there.
All right.
But the bigger part of that is that when they went to Phobos, they found a monolith on Phobos, right? Okay. So have you ever been to Stadium Way Trail?
Yeah.
You know that monolith that's there? That is what was on this moon. So it's basically like a potato shape. and they got this giant thing sticking out of the ground. Like, what is this?
Uh-huh.
So that is another thing.
Like a beacon?
I don't know what you would call it because they don't know what material it was.
Okay.
You know, they just flew over and it was like, hey, there's this giant pokey thing. You know, why would you have a potato-shaped whatever it was, like a moon, and then a pokey thing,
Did
right?
they ever think about sending something else out there to, like, get a sample?
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
So
Go on with your bad self, man.
That particular satellite got destroyed. And right before it got destroyed, it took a picture of something else coming towards it that looks like a cigar-shaped something. So there was supposed to be this huge disclosure about what they found, and then nothing. They had this big press conference, and then nothing. No one's like, hey, what about that press conference? What are you talking about? They just never talked about it ever again. Really? But they released all that stuff.
Who released it, though?
I guess it would be part of the governments that were involved.
Okay.
You know, because I think it was like a Russian, I don't know why Russia was involved, but I think it was like a Russian and United States thing.
Dang.
But
I never heard about that. That's actually...
Dude, there's so many crazy things going out there with just the stuff that they talk about. And it's just like, when I pick up on it, I'm like, why are we not talking about that? Why are we not talking about that? And no one ever hears about it.
And that was in the 60s, right?
That would have been in the 60s.
That's when they froze Austin Powers and went out there to
the secret space base.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that's what it is. It's a secret space base.
Shape.
It's a cigar shape.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, that stuff just fascinates me because it's just like, we should be trying to figure out why this happened. So,
that's true. I never heard about that. That's actually interesting. I'm about to watch your PC afterwards and check it out.
Yeah,
on the way back home.
Absolutely. And I put it on the episode. I think the episode that I did one with a dude from work, and I put pictures up there to show you. This is the newspaper article. This is what they showed they saw from the photos that they took. And I'm like, why are we not talking about this? You know?
I mean, that's a long time to go by, too.
Yeah.
So, 63, 63. Yeah, I mean, if it was 60s, it'd be like 63 years.
Right.
Let's just say 60.
Mm-hmm.
That's a while.
Yeah. So.
I mean, man, that's like when I Dream of Jeannie came
Sorry, Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
That was a good show. I liked I Love Lucy was a good one. I Dream of Jeannie was a good one.
The Honeymooners, that was my
The Honeymooners?
Oh, yeah, that dude was aggressive.
Was that the one where Bam Straight to the Moon?
Yeah.
He's always threatening to beat his wife.
They're all the voices of the Flintstones.
Was it?
Yeah, go back and check it out. Those are the voices of like Fred Flintstone was I think his name was Fred in Honeymooners. And
what?
Then, like Wilma was the wife. Yeah.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Go back and check it out.
That's funny.
That's
yeah.
some good stuff. That's history.
That's history right there. Yeah, dude. So, well, I think we kind of did our thing.
That was solid, man. I had a good time here.
We already did. Believe it or not, I think we're at about 45 minutes.
Ooh,
just
baby.
went right by.
That's a new personal record.
That's a personal
record. I'm usually at 5 minutes in, man.
Well, I appreciate having you, Steve-O.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude, if you ever want to do this again, let me know. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more stuff we could talk about.
I got a quarter bottle, baby.
Quarter bottle.
Till the next episode.
Till the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You're giving me wind